Hello, hello. I think we're good. A few minutes to get things started here. Testing out a new format. Hopefully everyone can see here. And we will get started in a few minutes. That's not what I was looking for. There we go. Goodness, really? There we go. All these topics we are going to discuss. And then the last one. Perfect. Hey, Jim, how are you? Thank you very much for tuning in. And we're actually able to start on time and on a Tuesday. This is quite remarkable. I think everybody was probably expecting something to go wrong and not actually work this evening. So I'm surprised myself. Didn't have any issues tonight. No friends' houses set on fire. No lightning strikes. No thunderstorms. Kids are staying at grandma's this evening, so this worked out perfectly. And I'm gonna give people a couple more minutes. I'm setting all my stuff up here. All this stuff looks correct. To talk about all the 4 topics we are going to go. And I think maybe because we started on time, everybody thinks we're going to be late. But to get things going, again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I appreciate yourself, Jim. Thanks for tuning in. And we are going to go ahead and get started right now. The 4 most important topics, or the 4 most popular topics of the past week, which is week 31, 2025. Starting off with our August Tug membership giveaway. I will say that I have been somewhat slacking in this over the past month or so. And I don't think we had a July giveaway, other than I did, I believe, offer a 4th of July giveaway. But giving out free memberships to all our Facebook followers and members of our Tug Facebook page, and 2 more to all of our YouTube subscribers. So still have not picked the winners for that. So if you are able to go on the form, or if you get the newsletter, you can click the links here on the form to go to directly to the Tug Facebook page, which hit 27,000 members on Facebook, which is fantastic. It is my goal to have the #1 timeshare group on Facebook by terms of members. So starting with this, having 27,000, we always give away free memberships, try and do it once a month to all of the individuals who support us on social media, both on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. So this is our August giveaway. We get 4 free Tug memberships. No pictures necessary. Don't have to enter anything. You just have to comment on the post on Facebook, click it right there, and or subscribe to our YouTube channel. Both of those items are completely free, and it automatically be entered to win each and every giveaway that we have on YouTube. So I'm going to select those winners later on this week. So you still have tonight, tomorrow, and I'll probably do it Friday. Friday night, I'll pick the winners and announce them on there. So please get in there, like and comment on the Facebook page, subscribe and watch some of our videos on YouTube. Every time you like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff, chances of someone else, some other Tug member finding us and tuning in and finding Tug on Facebook, whether it's our YouTube videos, whether it's our Facebook page, increases exponentially. So every single like, I know it just seems like minimal to you, but it truly does. The algorithms will all get changed the more people that like and the more people that comment. So good evening from Ohio. Excellent. Thank you very much for tuning in. Got Destination Timeshare. Be sure to check out his channel as well. He also produces some excellent timeshare content. Aren't very many of us on Facebook, or excuse me, are on YouTube producing this kind of content. So if we can support each other and any sort of positive information and informative videos out there on timeshares, please share it. I'm always welcome to and always happy to share those links and those channels across of all of our platforms. So can't ever get too much good timeshare information, in my opinion. So thank you very much for tuning in, and everyone else is on here. So as we mentioned, still got a couple days. Please comment on the post on Facebook, as well as go to our YouTube channel, like and subscribe, and you will enter a chance to win a 1-year Tug membership, or if you're already a member, I'm happy to extend your membership by 1 full year. We give dozens and dozens of these out throughout the year, and we'll continue to do so because it's the least I can do to support people that support Tug on social media. Word of mouth is easily the number one way Tug gets spread across the timeshare industry, and you just I can't buy that kind of advertising. Word of mouth, a timeshare owner telling another timeshare owner that they need to go to this channel or they need to go to this page or they can get information here is by far the most powerful recommendation and referral you can get. And we will continue to support those that continue to support Tug for as long as I'm around, which will hopefully be another 30 years. So moving on to item number 2. This is an interesting one. We now have a new, I don't even want to know what you call it, kind of a spin-off, kind of another branch, another version, basically coming under, just call it another phase, for lack of Wyndham timeshare ownership and their travel and leisure, which is the new brand of that. But Sports Illustrated Resorts portfolio is what it's called. And the only 2 locations that have been announced so far have been Nashville, Tennessee, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama. If there was another one mentioned, I might have missed it. But while I can understand Nashville, is that easily would especially with its location would easily support all year sort of filling up a resort like that, even though it's going to be I believe it's just a section of a particular hotel that is going to be offered as timeshares. The Tuscaloosa, Alabama one just really kind of a head scratcher. I'm not sure how the financials play out for that other than during football season. And while I have no doubt that during football season in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, hotel rooms are at a premium, and maybe they somehow are able to monetize that location non-football season, the other 8 months a year. But Tuscaloosa is not on the top 10, 50, probably even top 100 on destination lists that I can think many people would want to go to. But hey, that someone smarter than me has come up with this solution, or come up with this plan. I fully expect there to be more sports related or sports venues that these resorts, that they call them resorts, these timeshares will be available in throughout the country. And I look forward to seeing what new items they come up with. But everyone seems to be kind of, I don't think anyone has come up with, man, that's a really awesome place. I really wish there was a timeshare in Tuscaloosa, Alabama that I could go to. I haven't really heard that sort of feedback. So maybe it exists. Maybe there are just millions of you out there who have just been screaming for the ability to purchase a timeshare or stay in a timeshare or trade into a timeshare in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And I'm just out of the loop. And if that's the case, then I will happily eat my own hat and apologize and give kudos to whoever chose that particular location. Someone posted a little picture of, let's see if I can find here. I love the fact that I can scroll and you guys can see this. Someone posted a picture of what the Tuscaloosa location was supposed to look like and then what it actually did end up looking like, which was really kind of drab. Like this is the plan. If you guys can see this super fancy, I mean, that looks nice. Like that looks pretty darn cool to me. A little fake baseball diamond and stands where I guess they'll have some stuff there. That's pretty awesome. And then I guess this is what it looks like. I still get the baseball diamond sort of, but not exactly. The rendering did not exactly match up to what the final product was. I saw a video where they mentioned that they would like to have 30 spot Sports Illustrated properties at some time. Yeah, I can see the brand. The idea behind the brand is picking the hot, Cooperstown, people going to the Hall of Fame, or I don't know why it's a Daytona, maybe Daytona 500, something like that. Coming up with, I can imagine that you can find a few dozen sports meccas, for lack of a better term. The people that want to go Camden Yards. Everybody wants to go see Camden Yards at least once, or Yankee Stadium, stuff like that. Developing an entire product line around that. I'm happy to give it a shot. I'm always in favor of new ideas and new locations to go to. For me, again, Tuscaloosa. I'm sure there are probably a whole lot of Alabama fans out there who might be just making little voodoo dolls of me right now and sticking stuff in it. And since I will say if it was open now, I'd consider it. Although I think the Florida State Alabama game is in a neutral field to start off. But being a Florida State graduate, I don't have much of appeal to go to Tuscaloosa and watch an Alabama football game. But That said, you can't argue against Alabama's fan base, and maybe that is the future. Maybe that is, just an untapped resource of sports fans that are willing to pay a premium to stay at, or even to own at a a fixed week, and maybe maybe it will be a fixed week type thing that you can only sell during football season or something like that. Weirder things have happened, so we'll keep on top of this and see how it goes. It is it's out there. I mean, it's off the wall thinking, out of the box thinking, and maybe that's what the industry needs. I guess if you probably asked 15 or 20 years ago, timeshare points were probably the devil, and just the voodoo and stuff like that. And now we see the entire industry shifting to it. So the visionaries might be out there, and this might turn out to be an absolute home run. So looking forward to seeing how this plays out. Certainly looking forward to seeing the list of potential sites, even if those don't wind up coming to fruition. I would love to see what their plan is and what the overall plan is, because when you just tell me Nashville and Tuscaloosa, that doesn't get me super excited, for lack of a better term. But again, we'll keep an eye on this. This was some interesting news, and some certainly something unique that is not offered anywhere else that I'm aware of. So kudos to Wyndham for thinking outside the box and bringing a product to market that didn't previously exist. Going on to item number 3, another upfront fee exit scam principal, employee, owner, whatever you want to call them these days, pleads guilty, which is absolutely bravo. Thank you so much to the New Jersey Attorney General for prosecuting this. We wish this happened more often. The fact that these companies, I think this was originally reported on Tug. This particular scam was originally reported on Tug, 2021 was when this particular scam came out. And that was when we initially posted the Attorney General filing the lawsuit against that company. So I'm pretty sure they acted and were working in operation for years before that. But this post from 2021 was when the Attorney General finally went after them. And now we see, more and more of these. I think this is the 3rd or 4th principal or owner, or whatever person engaged in upper level management or responsibility for these companies versus the actual people doing the phone calls, pled guilty and will likely get a very hefty monetary fine if that's something they can collect, as well as hopefully prison. So it is frustrating in this industry that these are so extremely common. There are just so many timeshare exit and cancellation companies out there that I couldn't even begin to count them or track them. And they all operate in the exact same way. They all operate in the exact same scheme, and they all offer the exact same product. The fact that some of these smaller ones can be somehow the crosshairs from a random attorney general throughout the country will fixate itself on some of these small players. I'm just absolutely fascinated at why the bigger players never seem to catch the eye of these attorney general's offices, even though they all operate in the exact same fashion. Maybe it's the fact that I don't know, I say attorney general's office is scared of going after some of these big players because they can bring 6 or 7 figures worth of defense on attorneys to fight something like that. I would think that in it, maybe just the juice isn't worth the squeeze. It's not worth them going after something like that and putting so many resources and so much money against something like that when there is a legitimate shot at not getting a guilty conviction or not getting a successful conviction on this, and thus going after the small potatoes is easy wins. I'm going to applaud it either way, because even one of these people shut down is a good thing in the industry. But it's like emptying a bucket with a spoon, and I just don't see any hope that this industry will ever recover from the exit and cancellation flood or tidal wave or tsunami that has just absolutely overwhelmed this industry. And for it's self-inflicted. The industry itself has done itself no favors in providing valid exit options for so many owners. And when you have a vacuum like that, and when people are going to reach out for whatever lifeline is thrown to them, and these exit and cancellation companies are throwing a very attractive lifeboat to many people, not realizing that the anchor that's attached to it and what it's really happening. But when what was the comment? Somebody, you lead a horse to water for him to drink, and if it's sand, he's just going to drink sand because he just there aren't any other options there. So going back to a couple comments, Wyndham seemed to given up on the Margaritaville Club land. I wonder if they will do the same on SI Resorts. That's interesting. It makes a great point that Margaritaville was, the up and coming latest spinoff of the Wyndham timeshare brand. I see those resorts seem to be popular. I don't know whether in the Wyndham system or not, but the resorts themselves, at least the ones here in Florida, although I believe that there is a separate Margaritaville brand resort that is not affiliated with Wyndham, like Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. I want to say that there's, and maybe I'm wrong on that. I've just seen a particular, it seems more like an RV destination, like a lot where you can go and rent small cabins and or take your RV there to park there versus a timeshare type. And so, as such, that's done very well. There is a margarita, the restaurant, Margaritaville restaurants that exist all over the place. That brand seems to, that name seems to go across many industries and many locations. But yeah, I have not seen the Margaritaville locations for Wyndham explode in popularity, for lack of a better term. So maybe this is another another dart on the wall, and maybe it'll stick with the Sports Illustrated brand. But clearly they're trying to tap into markets that. Clearly trying to tap into markets for owners that previously would not be interested in timeshares, and not hard to see how sporting fans would be an untapped market. So maybe that'll work out. Another person tuning in, Billy Mock, thank you so much. Good evening to you as well. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm glad you could join us on this Tuesday evening where we actually got started on time. I know everyone is shocked and appalled that it is a Tuesday and there's not something crazy that's keeping me from going live at 9 p.m. But here we are, and we are getting through this. So back to our comments on the upfront fee exit scams. This is my pet peeve. Margaritaville retirement branded communities. Yes. Okay. So it was something separate. At least I'm not crazy. And I could have sworn that was still a resort, but not a timeshare involved with the Wyndham system. But back to the exit companies. This is probably my biggest pet peeve. Timeshare exit and cancellation companies are absolutely plaguing this industry, and it's hard to not. What's the easy way to say this without getting sued or people yelling at me? It's hard to believe that the industry isn't doing some of this stuff deliberately. There's so much money flowing around, and there's just so few solutions provided by the timeshare industry to combat this. When again, I know I'm painting it in a black and white brush, and I know I'm armchair quarterbacking this thing, but this isn't new. This is decades. Originally it was the postcard companies that were offering, hey, we can get you out of your timeshare, and transferring it into a bogus LLC and then abandoning that. And the industry, after years of being beaten face by those companies, took action to shut that down. And now without a fully developed exits industry-wide exit program, or the industry-wide exit solution, without that, there are just millions of owners out there that have no valid solution to get out of a timeshare. And yes, Tug sells resale timeshares. Yes, Tug has giveaway timeshares. Yes, owners give away and sell timeshares every single day across Tug, across Redweek, on eBay, on Craigslist, on Facebook. However, for every one person that successfully finds a new home for their timeshare on the resale market, there's probably 2 or 3 others that don't, because it just, again, the law of supply and demand. There are far more people looking to get out of a timeshare than there are looking to get into a timeshare. And out of that small percentage of people who are looking to get into a timeshare, a vastly smaller percentage of those people have any idea the resale market even exists, that they can buy a timeshare from an existing owner or even take it over for free off eBay or off Tug or off the Facebook marketplace. So when you look at the vast chasm of disparity between people looking to sell and people looking to buy, you just have it's a snowball. There's no other better way to explain that. And because those people, that snowball of owners who feel that they have no viable option, constantly see, hey, guarantee I can get you out of your timeshare, 100% money back guarantee. We've canceled 100,000 people's contracts, and everything that owner wants to hear, but it comes with a huge price tag. But the fact that the matter is the solution provided by those companies is for those owners to default. And these companies are making money hand over fist because they can sell the lie. They can sell that marketing strategy of, I can get you out of your timeshare guaranteed. That is effective, and that is what thousands upon thousands, if not millions of owners want to hear. If the industry itself, and we see them doing that, now implementing, many of these systems of Westgate and Diamond and Holiday Inn, are all now modifying their exit programs, if not still keeping them limited, but now charging Blue Green, another example, multiples of the maintenance fees or more than a year's worth of maintenance fees for owners to surrender this back, because owners have proven that they're willing to pay thousands of dollars to get out of a timeshare. They prove that every day by making these companies like this one in particular, forking over money hand over fist and giving these companies hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars a year in fees to quote unquote get you out of your timeshare. Why the industry is taken so long to adopt a better position to combat this, I can only guesstimate. Why they have only now started, why every single every single major developer still in active sales does not have an official exit program. And I don't care if it costs $10,000 to give it back. Just having something versus telling people that there is no solution. Sorry, best of luck. Go find a way to sell it. Or worse, referring them to an upfront fee resale company that will charge them to list it on their site for an unreasonable amount of money. Looking at you, Exploria, and I'm pretty sure Holiday Inn as well. You see things like that, and you just can't help but wonder why the industry doesn't at least provide the bare minimum of opportunity for an owner who's reached the end of their timeshare lifetime. And I'm not talking about someone who just bought 6 months ago and regrets it. I'm talking about owners who have been there for 10 or 15 or 20 years and been happy owners, are now retired or elderly or spouse has passed or whatever, that now just ownership is no longer in their best interest. They are no longer able to utilize the product they were sold. They're no longer able to even, in many cases, even visit the product that was sold, much less not wanting to take vacations anywhere. Those people need to be provided some sort of solution. And when you're not providing that, you leave this giant chasm in this industry where the exit and cancellation companies have happily jumped in with both feet and are providing those people with the quote unquote solution to get them out of their timeshare. Because these people just simply don't know that the solution being provided them is for them just to stop paying for their timeshare. And it really, really is a sad state of affairs that these companies have been able to operate with impunity for years, if not decades, before any sort of law enforcement, if ever, catches up to them. And so when we see these, we always promote them. And it's our hope that in promoting them and people continuing to report to their attorney general's offices, I know that the chances of you getting some sort of restitution or even justice are small. However, these companies, it is guaranteed that these companies continue to exist because people don't report it, because people feel ashamed or embarrassed or otherwise sick to their stomach that they fell for another slick talking smooth salesman who parted them from their money. It's likely the exact same sort of marketing that got them to buy the timeshare in the first place now swindled them out of thousands more dollars to get them out of their timeshare. And people are embarrassed by that. People feel that, they're otherwise smart, intelligent, highly functioning individuals that don't want to believe a person is lying to their face. And unfortunately, so many of these companies exist, just an absolute order of magnitude more of these companies exist than actually get pursued and shut down by these companies. And then you'll find that some of the principals, even after being shut down or gone after, will continue to operate under different names or start up new companies in different states to do the exact same thing. These companies can print money hand over fist because there's just a never-ending supply of victims. And it is 100% the fault of the timeshare industry itself that these companies are able to operate at all, because they're not providing otherwise happy owners with a solution at the end of their timeshare lifetime to exit a timeshare. And I'll get off my soapbox at that point because I can just talk about this stuff all day long. It frustrates me to no end that these companies can still operate. So golden rule of Tug for 30 years has been never pay a large upfront fee to do anything with your timeshare. Not sell it, not rent it, not give it away, not stop paying for it, not give it back. Well, I guess you give it back, but you're working with your resort for that. Never, ever pay a large upfront fee to a random company to do anything with your timeshare. Every single scam, and I'm not talking about 99.9%, I'm talking 100% of the scams in this industry all revolve around convincing you to pay upfront for a legitimate sounding service. Every single one of them. If you have that fast rule, I know that people come after me all the time and people yell at me, how can you tell that upfront fees? There plenty of industries charge upfront fees, just not this industry. You are almost certainty that every single scam out there operates on that exact same premise, that they are not a scam, that they are legitimate. All those other scams are just, we don't like those people. We are not like them. You pay us and we're going to get you results and we're going to guarantee that. And I'm sorry, that golden rule has existed for 30 years for a reason. and it's the only way that an owner is going to be able to protect themselves from every scam out there that exists. Because it is very clear that law enforcement. I'm very happy that this attorney general went after that, and the ones that do work in Florida and Oregon and all of the other states out there that have gone after timeshare exit companies and timeshare cancellation companies. But it's very, very clear that the amount of enforcement going on is just a tiny drop in the bucket to the amount of crime that's going on in these companies operating, engaging timeshare owners and fleecing them out of millions of dollars every year. So the only true way you're going to protect yourself is to protect yourself and know these and follow the golden rule, know what these scams are, know how these scams operate so that you don't send money and never see it again. And going on the very last topic, this is a great one. I'm glad someone posted this. Currently, it does say book by August 5th. There is currently a Hilton Grand Vacations Club promo going on, offering 25 to 55% off points costs for various resorts. And I mean, this is some incredible stuff. To book by August 5th, for example, you 25 points off at Mar Brissa, 25 points off. You can actually some of these you can book further out. SeaWorld, 45% point discount. You look some of these at 25%. I saw a 55 one down here somewhere. But some of these you can actually go, I think it went out to book by August. All these are August 5th, August 13th. So here, Paradise, you can get 55% off and you get to book before August 13th. So you got another week for that one. Most of these end tonight. So if you are a Hilton Grand Vacation Club owner and you're watching this, log into your account. You can get some amazing vacations. It's really, really incredible discounts. You got leftover points, points that haven't, you don't want to roll over or can't roll over anymore from last year. This is a great way to get a vacation that you would not have normally gotten or able to utilize with those points, because these are some pretty incredible discounts for some really, really nice locations. Now, obviously, you're not going to get a penthouse for Thanksgiving or Christmas or New Year's in Times Square, but again, 25 even here's 50% at Trump Las Vegas. You want to go to Las Vegas sometime before the end of the year? I guess they got a couple excluded dates, but still, it's half off your points to book that. So I'm not sure I've ever seen other than going through RCI and looking at last minute getaways and last calls that had those sort of discounts. So for anyone who's an HGVC member, incredible discounts. Looks like many of them in tonight. So at least log in and check it out. I believe you can at least make the reservations, and if you depending on how far out they are, you might be able to cancel and get your points back. But hey, these are some pretty great discounts, and kudos to who posted this. I want to give them credit. BRP, thank you so much for posting this. We included it in the newsletter because I saw that there were a number of people who knew about this discount or at least read it in the newsletter, or hopefully seeing it tonight, and were able to get some great vacations and save themselves some points and save themselves some money. So that covers. It looks like we're super early tonight. I blew through everything. Maybe I'm just extremely awesome at my chit chat. I don't know how long I've gone. I lost my little timer on here somewhere for how long we've been going. But please tell me that everyone's been seeing this too. I really hope that I haven't been displaying this for nothing. So I'm pretty sure that I'm looking at the live screen. So I'm hoping that you see my little face up here in the corner and then the screen down below. But hey, we blew through all our 4 topics. So unless anyone has any super questions, I'm happy to. Or another topic we've been you want to discuss that wasn't covered, man. We went through these 4 topics super quickly, and we less than 30 minutes. So I consider that a win. Jim, thanks so much. Thanks so much, Jeremy. Thanks so much, Jim, for at least confirming. I would hate to have gone through all that, and still trying out the StreamYard thing. I do enjoy the fact that it lets me adjust the format, and now you can follow along with me with what I'm chit-chatting about, especially when we're talking about forum topics. So with that said, again, I'll open up the floor if anybody's got any questions they want to type in or a topic they want to discuss. Otherwise, I'll probably just start talking about the Wyndham closures again, even though there's nothing really new there, other than another week has gone by and we still don't have any official notice from any of the resorts that I saw telling me what's going to happen January 1st, 2026. So that's just it's still just wild to see how popular that thread has gotten, how popular that topic is across Facebook, across the internet, Wyndham forums, Wyndham Facebook pages, everywhere but Wyndham itself seems to be talking about the potential closures or at least discontinuation of these resorts within the Wyndham system. I'm really truly amazed that it's been a month now. I think that this was first announced, at least the middle or early July, and we still don't have any sort of what's the word I'm looking for, even a high level. I mean, I realize Wyndham did release do a press release, an official press release, but didn't give an official list of resorts. Just gave a timeline saying some resorts will end by January 1st, 2026. But man, I just see so many people who have reservations at those resorts, the ones that are likely going to close, but still not confirmed they close after January 1st. You can still make reservations at many of these resorts after the first. You can still exchange in many of these resorts after the first. I don't have a good explanation for it. I just think the longer they wait, I realize that when this officially comes and when this is officially gets announced, that it's going to be a whole nother poop show. But you have people that have made these reservations and are expecting to go to these resorts next year, or start booking, or someone even brought up, I didn't even think about it. Apparently, they're still selling, on the resale market. Their owner, people are still trying to list their timeshares or uh, transfer, points ownerships at these resorts, even though they're are deeded property. And well, what's going to happen when they're no longer Wyndham Resorts? And this person's going to take it over, and it's going to be transferred into their name in December, and then January 1st, the resort ceased to exist in the Wyndham program. I would imagine that many of the legitimate timeshare brokers or excuse me, closing companies out there probably know what's up and maybe are cautioning potential buyers and potential sellers to at least hold off till they get more information. But that clearly isn't the case across the board. People are happy to take money to transfer a timeshare. You want to transfer it, it's up to you to do your due diligence. But for people that don't know what's going to happen, or maybe engaged in transfers, a couple months ago before this was announced, and then they're now still in the process, those people are on limbo and just don't have a really good idea at this point what exactly is going to happen at many of these resorts. And I mean, I think we all realize that on January 1st, these resorts are not likely going to be available to be booked within Wyndham anymore. But still, I've heard rumors from everything from the resorts shutting down to the being taken over by other systems to just running the gambit of theories on what's going to happen here. But the fact remains is there's a very, very real possibility that any owner or even a non-owner, people have reservations at these resorts after January 1st, 2026, are really going to be in for a roller coaster ride. And are they going to be able to check in and stay at that resort? Is it even going to be a Wyndham resort, a Wyndham stay? How do they get their reservation? How is that reservation confirmed? All of that stuff. If I were a timeshare owner, and this industry thrives and it built itself on planning ahead of time, knowing that your vacation's always going to be there, knowing that your reservation, you can plan ahead of time so you can save money on flights and arrange travel and all of that stuff months, if not a full year ahead of time, to let this drag on. And now we're 4 months from this deadline, and we still don't have any firm details on what's going to happen to the majority of these resorts. That's unacceptable. There's no excuse for that. There's just nothing good can come out of that for letting it drag on this long. And I realize that there are different situations at each of the resorts, but uh, man, you just got to, you've accelerated the timeline for which something like this should take place, and announcing this towards the end of the year versus the beginning, and with the void of valid information being out there, just the rumor mill is just running wild. And the worst part about it all is, and this really pisses me off, so I'm gonna get into this. I get almost daily reports from owners who go to not so much these resorts, but are owners at these resorts, and they go to set their owner update, and the salesman is exploiting this lack of information, trying to sell them more points using, hey, Wyndham's closing down some of these resorts. If you don't upgrade, you're going to lose everything and lose access to this. So you need to buy this, and so on and so on, and just exploiting all of the confusion and all of the mystery and the clouded information that surrounds this, and convincing people to pay tens of thousands of dollars for that fear of missing out, thinking that they're somehow going to be, screwed over or left out in the cold if they don't sign right here and there. And that just absolutely makes me sick. I cannot tell you how bad that pisses me off. That there are salesmen out there exploiting this, knowing full well that they are lying through their teeth. Wyndham has to know this exists, because I've seen comments where they made it clear that they would not let something like this take place, or that they would take action to prevent this sort of activity from happening in their own employees, exploiting their own owners with this misinformation. But yet it's happening on a rampant scale. I can't imagine that Tug members are just the lucky ones that somehow are getting these salespeople that are using this tactic to try to exploit them and try to get them to buy new things. Thankfully, most of the owners on Tug, or that report this, know better than that, and have read the page or have read the information and know that salesperson is full of shit and just trying to sell them, $10 or $20, $30,000 worth of points to quote unquote make sure that they don't get screwed when these resorts close, or Wyndham just terminates your ownership and you won't have anything more. So that is my pet peeve of the week, and it's my pet peeve last week, and it'll probably be my pet peeve next week, because I can't stand when external factors like exit companies and upfront resale companies exploit owners. It's even worse when we know salespeople do it, but it's just absolutely sickening that a salesperson would do it and exploit the lack of information that Wyndham is perpetuating, without giving detailed, solid information to its owners. Even these resorts not transferring this information, or at least giving them some warning. These owners are going in blind, and they see the rumors out there, and they read that, okay, well, they know something's happening on June 1st, and they're going to believe that salesman, or excuse me, January 1st. And so that salesman says, hey, this is what's going to happen on January 1st. And if you don't do this, you're going to lose everything. It's a very effective strategy. Otherwise they wouldn't be using it. And it truly, truly sickens me that this is happening on such a scale that I'm getting dozens and dozens of these reports coming in of people attending these presentations and are just basically being lied to about what the salesman is telling them on what's going to happen on July 1st for the sole purpose of selling them extra points, or having them, buy more points so that they, this will automatically roll over. If you buy more points, you're excluded from this, or it just, man, I'm getting super annoyed just talking about it. But yes, anyone who's going to a sales presentation at Wyndham, if they bring this up, my best advice is have them write it down. Like show me a piece of paper with writing on it that I can look at, that I can take with me, and sign it. Because I would love to see some official information with a Wyndham employee's name and or signature on it that they will stand behind, and at least give some sort of answer, even if it's a really, really bad answer, that yes, you guys are truly going to be screwed. Your Fairfield owners, or legacy deeded week owners, or you guys are just going to get screwed. So prepare for it. That would be better than nothing. Because when you have nothing, you just get all sorts of rumors in situations like this, where people are being exploited for thousands of dollars, and the rumor mill is just going crazy. I mean, I think Wyndham's going to be taken over by space aliens before too long. These rumors are just getting out of control. But soapbox off, rant off. We're coming up on 40 minutes now. So again, without any other questions or comments, at least looks like a half dozen of you or so tuned in. Thank you so much. I truly appreciate you tuning in for Timeshare Tuesday, finally on an actual Tuesday. And I hope to do this again next Tuesday, and then the Tuesday after that, and so on and so on. Might change the times a little bit, go a little before. Maybe we'll do something in the afternoon. Maybe there's some of you you want to take time from, maybe there's nothing good on soap opera TV. I haven't watched daytime TV in quite some time. Maybe that'll be my new prime spot. We'll get to, what is it, 2:00? When did Days of Our Lives used to come on? I'm really aging myself. Is that even show? Is it Days of Our Lives even still a soap opera? We'll play it around. But again, thank you again for tuning in to Timeshare Tuesday. Recap of all of the most popular topics in the timeshare industry for week 31, 2025. Tune in next week for week 32. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful evening and good night.